ना मनोज एक क्लोज फोटो बोलो.
Applause, please welcome Dr. Tharoor. Before we proceed further, may I please request Minister Councillor Mr. McCaslin to come up on stage and felicitate Dr. Tharoor. Mr. McCaslin. May we have the felicitations, please? Few more things here. Could just put the stool around Mr. Tharoor.
Even before I'd spoken, we customarily expect to be rewarded after our effort. But anyway, thank you, and this is a nice trend, and I hope it's going to continue along these lines. I do want to say, though, that I was particularly pleased to be invited by Ambassador Kanika Chaudhary to come and help inaugurate this event this evening. I first went to the States in 1975, which turns out is a long time before Mr. Muscat's. And on that occasion, I mean, I must say Pennsylvania was one of the places I was most interested in during my rather long stint in that country, working for the United Nations. I did quite often wander into Pennsylvania, quite apart from the Liberty Bell and all the nice things that our MC has mentioned. It's also the cradle of cricket in the United States, which many Indians will probably value more. The Philadelphia Cricket Club, in the 1890s, the greatest fast bowler in the world was the Philadelphian J. Martin King. And Haverford College, which was mentioned by, I think, by you, Mr. Muscat, is one of the few colleges in the United States which still has a cricket team. So actually, usually captained by an Indian student or a Sri Lankan student, but they have a cricket team at Haverford. And of course, for those of you who are interested in history, as I am, the Civil War battlefields in Pennsylvania are quite remarkable. Many of them are still very well preserved. I remember taking my kids, who become very sensitive and poetic later in life, but in those days were extremely military obsessed. I remember taking them on a tour of all the battlefields in Pennsylvania and Virginia. And Pennsylvania is really quite remarkable. And the Gettysburg Address that many of you have heard about, which Lincoln delivered, it's sort of, I mean, the Gettysburg Address is sort of the Tryst with Destiny speech equivalent, and composed in exactly the same way, written on the back of an envelope in the middle of great stress and drama, and then delivered for posterity. Very much Nehru's Tryst with Destiny and Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. And Gettysburg is in Pennsylvania, as are many other places, Spotsylvania Courthouse and God knows what else. And there's lots to go and see in Pennsylvania. And of course, there are these very fine educational institutions. I was asking Mr. Muskins whether he was Dutch, and I turned out to be lucky guess he is originally Dutch. But you see, for the longest time, one of the best known groups, ethnic groups in the United States, were a group of people called the Pennsylvania Dutch, except they weren't Dutch. The Americans got it wrong. They were actually German, so they called themselves the Pennsylvania Deutsch. And the Anglo-Saxons compressed that to Pennsylvania Dutch, and so we now have genuine Pennsylvania Dutchmen here. Anyway, I'm just delighted here to be here to launch this global initiative of the state of Pennsylvania to establish this hub, Penn Hub, I'm told it's going to be called, as a platform for exchanging ideas, knowledge, and skills in the field of higher education, which really adds to the expanding association of India with universities abroad. And I'd like to congratulate everybody at both the idea end and the receiving end of this initiative. You are forerunners. You're the first American state to do this, and unless Mr. McCaslin corrects me, I don't believe there is a federal equivalent. This is it. This is the first real venture to have a hub for all educational institutions in a particular part of America, and so real congratulations through you to the governor and the people of Pennsylvania. Now, from my point of view as a former education minister in this country, I mean, collaborations with various countries in the field of education is something I always attached a lot of importance to. I believed we needed to do it much more than ever before because the demand in India is so great that we are simply not able to cope with the number of institutions we have in our country. And that's something that we really have to acknowledge. I mean, when 100,000 Indian students go to America every year, or whatever it is, 40, 50,000 now go to Australia every year, and comparable numbers to Britain, to Europe, and so on. We are not only showing that Indians have an international sensibility and are curious and interested and willing to go and explore the rest of the universe, and particularly to acquire knowledge and widen their horizons. We're also acknowledging that we really can't do it all by ourselves in this country. We don't have enough quality institutions to attract and keep the kids who are getting into American universities. So we have been quite consciously, my government, before the present one, was quite conscious about expanding this. We concluded the trilateral memorandum of understanding with Brazil and South Africa as far back as 2007. We did this with we did the same thing with the British High Commission, the MOU in 2008 for an India-UK higher education leadership development program. In 2009, we expanded this to include the European Union, and separately the Czech Republic. But the biggest of all, undoubtedly, and the most ambitious and far-reaching, was the India-US educational partnership, as the Minister Councillor, Mr. McCaslin, reminded us. The 2009 Singh-Obama Knowledge Initiative, or SOKI as these bureaucrats often abbreviate it to, was a very important step in actually developing Indo-US collaboration, in providing faculty exchanges, joint research and collaborations in critically important fields such as climate change, public health, sustainable development, and food security. But this hub is not restricted to any particular area. They basically come and said, all educational institutions teaching all subjects, and I think it's terrific that a state from the US has come forward to partner with various Indian educational institutions, including the ones who are represented here, and of course the ones who haven't made it yet through Bombay's favourable traffic. Now, the presence of foreign institutions under this kind of framework does have an important influence. It's a limited influence, but a good influence on the education landscape of our country. I would say that we need to see more and more of a strategic educational partnership with the US. We need to see more intercultural appreciation. I didn't know about the business part of the hub, and I was invited here to talk about education. But I must say that business collaboration is increasing greatly between the two countries. And that requires the people of the two countries to appreciate each other and understand each other better. And therefore, I mean, to have an opportunity through education and through educational interconnections to actually give you a chance to know each other better will actually, I believe, be good for the Indo-US business relationship as well. It might lead India to the dangerous impression that the best state in America is Pennsylvania. And I'm sure Californians and Texans and New Yorkers will all have their own opinions about that. But that's their problem for not having been the first of the race. Now, we had a challenge. We introduced a foreign universities bill in Parliament that didn't get through because of resistance from a number of people, including particularly those who are now our government. But that shouldn't worry anybody, because those who are now our government have systematically done U-turns on every policy that they've undertaken, and everything they opposed when they were in opposition, they're doing in government. So I'm quite confident they'll be very receptive to foreign universities coming into India. But we did make it easy in our time by actually issuing regulations that entitle universities, even pending the adoption of the Foreign Universities Bill, to set up themselves here as a company under the Companies Act of 1956. We've also been encouraging models of public-private partnership in any case. So Indian educational institutions might well want to partner with American institutions and take advantage of some of the opportunities being offered. I was looking through the list of things you do: the summer abroad program, the executive education program, the dual degree program, the teacher training program. These are all things which I believe can make a genuine difference and a positive impact to Indians. The summer abroad program is obvious. I think both sides will benefit equally from it. It will help broaden the thought processes of our young students by exposing them to a more diverse and competitive international education system. Then your executive education program, which will give young people, or not even such young people, already mid-career people in business and technology fields, who can benefit from your executive education training and apply to their own work. And I'm assuming you're offering facilities here in India, right, to offer the courses for Indian executives. And that's a growing field in our country. More and more Indian business schools are doing this, and I'm sure some would be attracted to the idea of teachers from Penn or places like Wharton showing up to offer these programs here in India.
Thank you, Dr. Tharoor. It was indeed a pleasure to have you here amongst us. Let's have a huge round of applause once again for Dr. Tharoor. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we now proceed to the felicitation of Minister Mr. Kailash Chandra Vijayvargiya, who is the Minister Urban Development for Government of Madhya Pradesh, a man who is contributing in the shaping of beautiful India, an Indian politician and a member of Madhya Pradesh State Legislative Assembly. Mr. Vijayvargiya has won the state's assembly election consecutively 6 times since 1990. Wow! This shows his dedication and commitment to the promises he has made. To please felicitate Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya. Mr. Vijayvargiya, may we please have you on stage, and Mr. Vicaslin, may we have you on stage as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya and Mr. Vicaslin once again. May we have the felicitation. Ladies and Mr. McCaslin, I request you to kindly stay on stage with us. Mr. McCaslin, if you can please. Ladies and gentlemen, let's applause for the man who's shaping our dreams into reality. Let's have a round of
Still. Still.
photo option.
Still.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to add, Raju is a dear and personal friend, and now, Mr. Muskin's, of course, a friend to our state. And I remember telling Raju, but the commitment is that I want to congratulate you, Raju, because I know you're the only friend I have in Bollywood the state has. But we do want to say that your contribution in film and education and your ideas have actually made us do a lot of thinking. And you are, of course, I know your son has a great connection. He's at, one of our, at the United Group's SIS, which is very, very dear to us. And thank you, Raju, and we hope to do more work with you with the Commonwealth. Thank you.
Let's have a huge round of applause once again for Mr. Hirani. Thank you, Mr. Hirani. Thank you, Mr. Kavanaugh. Thank you, Ms. Chaudhary. May I now call upon stage Vice Chancellor of Mumbai.
I always say they're a family, federal arm, and without them, Minister Consular, without their support, we wouldn't be here. But thank you all. Trust me, I'm keeping a tab on the names because everybody here is the who is who, like I say. But all of you educationists, thank you for welcoming us. We will do Pennsylvania proud and we will do India proud. I can promise you that. Thank you. God bless.
See, ये जो इनिशिएटिव है पेंसिल्वेनिया हब, आई थिंक बहुत अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है क्योंकि हमें ज़रूरत है इस किस्म के एजुकेशन आइडियाज़ पे एक्सचेंज होने की, ताकि वर्ल्ड के बेस्ट टीचर्स हमें मिल सकें और हमें काफ़ी रिफॉर्म की ज़रूरत है एजुकेशन में, और ये एक अच्छा कदम है उस दिशा में। तो मैं इन सब के लिए मेरी बहुत बहुत हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you so much. Thank you.